Many local Capitec investors and analysts took exception to the approach and tone of the Viceroy report. But they were right on the money when it came to Steinhoff several months ago, so the markets reacted.
I think Viceroy have acted, well within their rights. They're more than allowed to put out research on a company, take a short position or a long position on their company. This is a very widely practiced thing overseas. We're less used to it in South Africa. That aggressive short selling and possibly when it comes from foreigners as well, we feel a little bit hard done by. But I think we need to get used to this more and more. It's good for price discovery. The more information that can come out, the better.
Capitec is a relatively new player in the South African banking and lending sector. It's gained market share from its competitors, and this is reflected in its share price. But the market reaction to the report took many by surprise.
And I think that just speaks to the general environment that this kind of news is being entered into, and perhaps investors aren't exercising the kind of caution that we would want.
The share price has been one of the rising stars on the JSE, but some consider it an expensive share.
Ended the year at almost 1,100 Rand. By any metric you use, that's what we call a full price when we're being polite in the industry.
Investors and shareholders remain anxious about the South African micro-lending space, despite all the rules and regulations. That's after the collapse of micro-lender African Bank several years ago.
With the experience of African Bank, people are kind of watchful to make sure that Capitec is not a similar short opportunity as African Bank was.
Investor caution is perhaps misplaced because the country has a strong regulatory environment.
I think what Viceroy Research has done is they've bitten off more than they can chew, and they've chosen the wrong target. Because South Africa has got probably the most highly regulated banking industry in the world. It emerged from the global financial crisis incredibly intact. And there's no way that you can have a bank of the size of Capitec doing anything untoward without the SARB knowing all about it.
To its credit, the bank acted quickly to refute many of the assertions made by Viceroy.
Capitec's response, I think, inspires some confidence that the CEO himself, on the same day that the results came out, has addressed the public on this matter.
Microlending is a very sensitive situation or issue in South Africa because the majority of the population are over-indebted, and yet they're still able to get credit to make ends meet. I'm Angelo Coppola for CGTN in Sandton, South Africa.